So. Ja, mal gucken, was wir heute machen. Ich hoffe ja, dass wir irgendwann endlich mal bei unserem Superstar-Zeug weitermachen können. Und endlich mal Karaoke singen können. Ja, mal gucken. Hm. So. Ask Scab Lead about tattoos. At the harbor gates. Confront Hardy Boys about drug trade. Okay. Dann machen wir das. Immer noch keine Ahnung, wie ich in das dämliche Gebäude hier reinkomme. Moment, kann ich vielleicht durch irgendwelche Checks, die wieder so ein Sleeping Dog Worker nur. There's something down there. The musty smell of a potato cellar in spring emanates from the air vents.
Right to work! Right to work!
Nah.
Shame on you!
Excuse me, I had further inquiries. He looks annoyed. Things busy enough? You going to waste less of my time? We'll see. Hulking man oozes stark skepticism. Are you a mercenary hired by Wild Pines? Yeah, no, I'm just an honest scab. I won't have talk like that around here, you understand? Is there a tribunal being convened by any chance? Fucking bug! Breathes out slowly, his giant chest deflating and his mouth slightly open. You hear Tiny rattle a small radio cracking somewhere. Earpiece? How about you fuck off now? Okay, of course. Lieutenant says, his voice a soothing calm. He looks at you. There could be weapons aiming at us right now, somewhere above in the buildings. The other merc. Don't push this, he's thinking this is not the time. Okay. I think you may be able to help me decipher some tattoos. Don't think so, he grunts, barely glancing at it. Suddenly, this feels like a really, really bad idea. Okay. Of course, just forget about it. Let's discuss something else. I think we should maybe even get going now. Okay. Gibt's bei dem irgendwas Neues?
Ja.
Oh, hey, mister. I need to be back to talk with old Leo here. Yes, I did. Yes, I did. It's like Lady Larice said when she opened a bathhouse in the basement of my apartment building. They can only get so far before they're aching to get back. And a lot of folks really did keep coming back.
I had some questions for you if that's not too much trouble. Are you the Leo who wrote the note to make more banners? Oh yes, yes, he replies excitedly. I leave all kinds of notes for myself. That old head of mine ain't so good at keeping things no more. I almost forgot about the borscht. Well, what was that about the borscht? Oh yes, I've been taking special whirling borscht to the men every day since the strike started. Little guy chuckles merrily. It's very, very good. Makes men feel so warm and happy. Shakes his head with a wide smile. I feel like I could take on Mr. Renaudin's boar dogs every time the lunch is done. Power borscht, huh? Never heard of a borscht that turns little guys into dog fighters. Alcohol, however. What do you mean by taking the soup to the men? Is it for striking? Yes, yes, I'm taking it to them. The borscht keeps them happy and in fighting spirits. Makes us all warm inside. They brew it in the whirling in rags. Hold up, who makes it at the whirling? Oh, the whirling's cook. He makes it. Them is always talking about Mr. Manana in that weird language and laughing together. He doesn't speak what we speak. He's from Grad. Looks like the borscht is spiked. I'm gonna look into it. Ah, sure, mister, sure. The guy nods. You do that? Yes, sir. He didn't actually understand what you meant, and now he's just nodding along. Okay, I'm off. Coffee in the giant Thermos is still lukewarm. Everard! Before you is a walrus of a man seated behind a large desk. He looks up from his work, not the least bit surprised to see you. With great effort, he straightens himself up in his chair, yet says nothing. He simply stares at you. With a mixture of expectation and impatience, well bottled. Are you in charge of the dock workers?
Welcome, Mr. Dubois, Mr. Kitsuragi. It's good of you two to stop by. Please, have a seat.
But where's Mr. Dubois? And Raphael Ambrosius Cousteau?
I'm Everard Clare, head of the Debargeurs Union here in Martinez. I'd offer you my hand, but unfortunately my health prevents me from getting up. You understand.
He looks extremely comfortable. The tiny folding chair, on the other hand, looks like a torture device.
You go ahead, detective.
Whatever he has in store for you, it can't be good, he thinks. I'll do my best. Forget about that. What's with this Dubois stuff? You're getting some seriously bad vibes from that name. Why are you calling me Mr. Dubois?
Please, Mr. Dubois, let us converse in a civilized manner as equals. Take a seat, I insist.
It's nothing. Yes, that's probably right. It's nothing. Forget about it. Filter it out. He's trying to throw you off your game with this Dubois nonsense. Don't give him the pleasure. Okay.
Excellent, Mr. Dubois. I can see that you're a reasonable man, and reasonable men can be of great use to one another.
Gives you a sly wink. Try to wink back.
So tell me, how can the head of the Debargeurs Union help a representative of the Revachol Citizens Militia today?
Matched health. What? The chair you're sitting on has got to be the most uncomfortable chair in the world. It's violating your backside.
Oh, by the way, I heard you got a rather rude reception from a certain Lawrence Garte. Some people have no
Garte.
manners. It pains me to say. This should take care of that nonsense.
Points to a giant novelty shack on his desk. It's absolutely comically huge.
It should be sufficient to cover your expenses for a few days and patch over your differences with the cafeteria manager. Go ahead, take it.
Points at it again. Oh, Geld? Oh, that's 25 Real. That's good money. You need it. Nur 25? Das ist gerade mal eine Nacht und ein bisschen Quetsch. Okay. Thank you, Everard.
Don't mention it, but also don't forget it. I'm just kidding, of course.
Is he?
Now, I'd like to set your mind at ease about one other matter. Your lost gun. Let me assure you, Union people are on it as we speak. I've got my best hounds looking for that lost gun. Lost gun. Lost gun.
The world is swallowed by a black hole of fear. Only two words escape its gravitational pull. Lost and gun. I would appreciate any help you could provide.
Are you all right, Harry? You seem anxious. Well, don't be. Everything's going to be all right.
It's not like you left it loaded. You didn't lose a loaded gun. Local children aren't out there playing with it right now, pointing it into their own mouths. It's in a safe place. I just know it. I have a feeling everything's going to be alright.
It was loaded. There were 2 bullets in it. You always keep at least 2 barrels loaded. Took the novelty check. The chair is killing you. Come on, Kim.
Officer, we will deal with this later. We don't need Mr. Clare's help with this.
I wouldn't be so sure about that.
God, you're sweating, your knees jerking, you're about to cry, aren't you? You're about to cry because you lost your gun and those children are going to shoot themselves with it. So what, men can cry too? You want to cry? God, you're weak. Whatever you do, don't cry. You'll think you're disgusting.
Mr. Dubois, you don't look so good.
What is this Mr. Dubois he keeps repeating? What is he trying to pull here? You need to cool the fuck down. Chill.
Mr. Dubois! Mr. Dubois! Harry!
Large man snaps his fingers, but to no effect. You're in some stupor. There are no Harrys. Let your mind go to your safe place. While Everard is distracted by your odd behavior, the lieutenant's eyes are mapping everything around you. The folder, desk, papers on the wall.
Mr. Dubois, are you okay? Can I get you a glass of water or something? Are you having some kind of medical emergency?
Maybe you could use your hands somehow, in a kind of throwing motion. Like you're throwing that Mr. Dubois act right back him. He's Mr. Dubois. No, I'm as good as it gets, Mr. Dubois.
Don't be dramatic. I can see your condition isn't terminal.
What an odd demonstration of... Huh? You got me, Harry. I don't even know what. As entertaining as it was, I'm afraid we're wasting our time, and I'm an extremely busy man, as I'm sure you are too.
Okay, enough. We are here to ask you some questions pertaining to a murder investigation.
Quick, here's your window. Get yourself together and ask him questions. Police officer questions. It is about a time to stop embarrassing yourself. Questions will help you to regain some of your lost dignity. You call me Mr. Dubois, why? Of course, let's dispatch with the formalities. You call me Everard, I call you Harry. That's what the hanged corpse called you, Harry. So that's my real name? That's really my name? My god, so it's true, I didn't want to believe it, but you are a fantastic science fiction amnesiac cop, aren't you? He shrugs with an amazed expression. What are the odds of that? I think the odds of that, he looks at you, are very low. It's true, my memory is a bit hazy. I assure you there's nothing to be ashamed of, Harry. You're among friends, and the good news is... He taps on the folder in front of him. I have a big fat folder on you, Harry. I'm sure you have a lot of questions to ask. Maybe I can help you out. I'm sure you had some concerns you thought I might be able to address. He pauses to look down on the brown folder on his desk. And you were probably right, I can. It's just a brown folder, you can't make out what's written on it. Are you trying to tell me you've gotten hold of some of our documents? Lieutenant inspects Everett over his spectacles. Mr. Kitsuragi, would you mind? His eyes never leave yours. Me and Harry are talking about this lost identity right now. Everett's large hands are covering the folder, but the look on his face says, I know everything about you, Harry. I've got nothing to hide. Oh, Harry. He peeks into the folder, as if it's hard to turn away from the mysteries inside. Oh, wow, this is really something. I'm sure it's not that bad, Lieutenant whispers. At worst, he has an old RCM folder, and I very much doubt even that. So about it, Harry. He leans back in the chair. You need assistance, I presume? Let's get it straight. What is my full name? It's Harry. He glances at the folder. Harry Dubois. You feel like a Dubois, but you don't feel like a Harry. Strange. You don't feel like any of these things. You know what your name is. You have a sophisticated name, like that of a count or a beautiful man. That's not my name. My name is Raphael Cousteau. Fine, Harry. He waves you off. You can even be Harry Raphael Dubois de Cousteau or whatever you choose to be. Lieutenant covers his face and sighs audibly. Mr. Kitsuragi, doesn't seem even slightly empathetic to your memory loss, Harry. Frowns at Kim. I, however, wish to help you any way I can. Do you know where I live? But of course, Harry, he nods. Your precinct is the 41st, and you live in Jamrock. You're a Jamrock boy. A long way from home, but that's okay. You know anything about my family? Do I have a wife or kids or family? Harry, you're not a family man. There's not one peep of family in here, unless you think you're a family man. Do you strike yourself as a family man, Harry? I think I do. I'd be a wonderful father. Well, yes. He looks around, uninterested. I'm sure you're gonna make one little boy or girl very happy and proud one day, Harry. What kind of a cop does it say I am? Harry, you're not simply a cop, you're a star. A bright shining star in a drab law enforcement sky, outshining all other stars. You're a superstar. That's what I like about you, Everett. You get me. Of course I do, Harry. He smiles a sly smile. And I'm gonna help you shine. I'm gonna put you on all the big straight stages. Your name in giant neon letters, Harry Dubois. What? Das weiß ich nicht. Giant neon sign reading Harry Dubois hanging from the Quasund crane can be seen all the way to Jamrock. Somewhere in Mirova, a beautiful woman sees the bright glow on the horizon and says to herself, oh my god, I shouldn't have left him. Where did you get that folder? This. Closes the folder. My friends in your organization gave it to me, Harry. I find it very suspicious. May I have a look? I'm afraid this is meant for union eyes only, Mr. Kitsuragi. I'm sure you understand. Turns back to you. Please continue, Harry. Let's talk of other matters for a moment. Could you help me get a dead body down from a tree? You might have noticed there's one hanging on a tree behind the hostel cafeteria. Oh my, he smiles pleasantly. Don't take this question personally, but why would I get involved in this matter? Mr. Clare, the man was hanged with a cargo belt, a steel-reinforced cargo belt. It's safe to assume the Union had something to do with the murder. Besides, getting the body down would benefit all of us. It's a stain on the neighborhood. You're a community leader. Help your community out. I can certainly see how having him up there might start affecting some real estate values. He licks his fat lips and smiles. But of course, all joking aside, I am going to help you. Picks up the handset of a radio phone to his right, then clicks a button. Jean-Luc, my boy, I'm sending 2 police officers down. They have a dead body in a tree problem they need help with. Namely, they need it to be taken down. And John, please take it easy with the race science. That's a yes to getting the body down, no to the race science. He hangs up and turns back to you. You can find Jean-Luc down at the gates. He turns back to you. He's the big, impressive one. You know, tattoos, muscles, ethnic looking. Can't miss him. Great guy. Are you going to ask me how I got in? Harry, he says almost gently. Honestly, I'm just relieved you didn't get a hernia. A man your age. I too am surprised by the resilience and athleticism of this tool I've been provided with. Yes, Harry. You're obviously in peak physical condition, and I salute both your initiative and your physical prowess. Very impressive, Harry. Very impressive. Anyway, I assure you I am a very well-informed man. Information reaches me before I even get the chance to request it. What's in the container that's outside your office? My dear Harry, there are literally millions of containers in this harbor. I couldn't possibly remember what's in all of them. There's something special about it. It was attached to the Quasant crane. Harry, you smooth-talking son of a bitch, he says with the fondest of smiles. Time is a precious resource, and I don't have enough of it to count containers with you. I'm told the Union is involved in the local drug trade. What? He smacks his forehead, completely flabbergasted. Harry, how could you say that to me? You know I appreciate a joke as much as any jolly fat guy, but I can't take slander. Are you actually investigating this? I am. Man rubs his temple and closes his eyes in pain. You've hurt me, Harry. Me, a friend. But you know what? Perks up. I trust you, like I trust all my friends. And I know you'll never talk to me about this again, because you don't want to wound me. So do what you want, and let's change the subject. Thank you for understanding. Lieutenant looks him in the eye. We will continue to do what we must. You too, Lieutenant, huh? He chuckled suddenly. You know, I like you, but you never were my favorite. I'm a Harry guy. I'm Team Harry. None taken. Man quickly replies and then turns to you. Did we have anything else to do here, Harry? Auf mich, Harry, zu nennen. I've just finished investigating the local drug trade. Ah, yes, your side investigation. Thank you. He adjusts his glasses. You've got some spirit clearing up phony drug accusations alongside this murder. I'll talk to the mayor and see if I can get you the key to the city, Harry. Now let's talk real business. Not even a speck of anger in his voice. That's that then. I'm looking into your shady brew. I don't know what that means, Harry, Shady brew? There's so many moving parts in my operation, I can't keep track of all of them. You know what? Don't even tell me. Whatever it is, do it. Surprise me. He reconsiders just one thing. If you can make it even shadier. I met Joyce, the company representative. Oh, that's very nice. I haven't gotten around to her yet. I'm very, very busy, you see. He adjusts a button on his sleeve. I hope you're getting along. One thing I want to make very clear, Harry, is that this is not some kind of union versus corporations situation. Everyone is just pals here. Just pals. We are trying to do what's best for Martinez here. His smile widens. Don't feel like you can't cooperate with her because you and I are such good friends and I'm helping you get that nasty buddy down from the tree. I'm not a jealous guy. Oh, that's so nice of him. Suspiciously nice. Are you sure I find it a little odd? I'm just a nice guy, Harry. I wouldn't be where I am now if I wasn't nice. Slams his fist into his hand. Politics is all about emotions, and I want you to have positive emotions when you think of me. Okay then, positive emotions it is. You like positive emotions. What happened to the previous negotiator, Mr. Gormont? What do you mean, Harry? Big man sounds annoyed. Nothing. I let him go. You made concessions for the company in previous negotiations. Why would you let an ally like that go? He's an old man, Harry. I want him to spend more time with his family. He looks down and sighs. God knows how long he's got left. You called him a midget. Harry! He exclaims, indignant. I have little people in my organization. I would never call someone a midget. What is this? Honestly, I'm beginning to think you're a midget, Harry. Abruptly, he smiles and changes his tone. I'm only kidding, Harry. You're not a midget. No one is. We're pals. Joyce said the previous union leader vanished under suspicious circumstances. Vanished? Harry, the woman left her casserole in the oven and couldn't make it here in time for the voting. Oh, did I leave my casserole on? Better go home and check. The election can wait. Man frowns disapprovingly. When she got back, the whole thing was over. Era Joyce seems to think the union is lowballing here. Her. Yes, lowballing, of course. He suddenly very serious. This isn't a casino, Harry. Real people, real livelihoods are at stake here, but everything's a casino for those rich types. His expression makes it clear this is childish and irresponsible behavior. Why haven't you let her in to see you? If she actually wants to see me, she will find a way. Any good negotiator would. And I just don't have anything to discuss with a bad negotiator. He doesn't want to see her, it's simple as that. Okay, let's talk about something else. Of course, Harry. Let me just assure you one more time, it's perfectly okay to share anything we discuss here with this Joyce. It is a completely transparent organization. I have no interest in what she's doing, but I myself have nothing to hide. Your business is your business and I respect your privacy. Just remember, none of this, he makes an all-encompassing gesture, is secret. Tell her about all of it. My brother's picture, my singing swordfish clock. Looks around. Tell her how overweight I am and how I'm helping you find your lost gun. Tell her about everything. Everett doesn't mind. Let's talk about my lost gun. Yes, your lost gun. His face turns serious. My best men are on it. They're turning every stone, searching every playground, asking kids, grandmas, everyone. Your gun will be found, Harry. Let me assure you of that. He winks at you. It's just a matter of time and effort. Wait, the gun may have been bought from Roy's pawn shop. Have your men factored that in? Yes, thank you for the hot tip regarding your lost gun, Harry. My men have indeed, he makes air quotes, factored in that you pawned it. Now please, let the professionals do their job. Kick back, Harry, relax. I have great guys on this. You focus on what's important, building our relationship for the good of Martinez. It did not come as a surprise to him. He might actually not be bullshitting. Does this mean if I do things for you, I will get my gun back? Damn it, Harry, that's exactly what it means. He turns to Lieutenant. I am only kidding, of course. Of course, Lieutenant replies dryly. I understand. We help you, you help us. A couple of things about me. Nope. I want to talk about the hanging. Ah, of course, that's your main thing here. That's why you're in Martinez. He nods. I know everything that goes on around here, and I would love to help you, like I'm helping you with the body and your lost gun. Skill point. Yosh. I mean, it's no secret that the lynching is connected to the strike. So much to talk about. Honestly, it's been weighing on me so heavily. I understand you need to interview me. I sense there's a but there's a thing that's been keeping me up at night. I want to talk about the hanging. I mean, if we could just calmly talk, exchange information, we could blow this thing wide open. Yes, that sounds good, Lieutenant says with a slow nod. Let's do that. But I can't think straight with this thing weighing on me. Suddenly he slaps himself on the forehead. You're police officers, aren't you? I have a crazy idea. You guys are basically door-opening machines, incredibly talented at opening doors. I've opened a few doors in my life. And I'm sure you're gonna open this one with flying colors, Harry. He chuckles. This really is very simple and there's nothing shady about it. Why don't you just open it yourself? Harry, I'm a very busy man and more importantly, I don't have that extraordinary physique you do. Slams his fists together. You look like you could run around all day. You want to send someone a message that the police are working for you. I repeat, I'm a very, very busy man, Mr. Kitsuragi, and therefore I must occasionally enlist outside help. He turns back to you. So what will it be, Harry? Whose door is it? Oh, no one's. It's just a weasel. A weasel lives there. Nothing for you to worry about. What do you mean by a weasel? A loud blabbering weasel. When weasels feel no one is watching, they start acting foolishly. He removes his glasses and rubs his nose. Just go there, unlock the door and leave it open. It's been such a burden on me, Harry. I just want this to be over so I can discuss business with you. Puts his glasses back on. I bet you don't even know anything about the hanging. Harry, my dear friend, he sinks deeper into the chair. I am what people call a local bigwig. I know everything that goes on in Martinez. Damn it, fine, I'll look into it. We need to talk about that murder. Fantastic, my friend. Just let me know when it's done and we can take our friendship to the next level. Flicks his finger. You can get the key from Mañana. He is down by the gates. Mañana's like a free agent in the Union. Special operations. Ardent socialist. A real free thinker too. He'll tell you precisely where the door is. He smiles, obviously satisfied with how well he planned it all out. One last thing, Harry. Just open the door. You don't need to go in or anything. I just want that weasel to come home and see the unlocked door. Alright, I'm going to leave now, but we might talk again later. Wait. He leans, reaches into his drawer and pulls out a plastic card. You need this to get in and out through the gate. Thanks. I was wondering how I'm supposed to get out. Here, you're one of us now. A real red and white Union man. Take care, Harry. Giant novelty check. Looks like it's meant to be handed over ceremoniously on a gala-like event that supposedly exchanges for 25 real at your local Fritz store. Below the number, a careful hand has written the words Constable's rent, all of it. Note, worthless in a pawn shop. Okay. Hat uns ja ein bisschen weitergebracht. Jetzt kriegen wir endlich den dummen Körper da weg vom Baum und ein bisschen Geld haben wir bekommen. Und, keine Ahnung. Ernsthaft? Hey. The finger's running over the dial pad 005. That's a dialing code for Revachol. 4952 and a moment of hesitation before entering the final numbers 993. Video Revachol. Crackle, someone picks up to say Video Revachol 24-hour video rental. We rent 8 and 10mm films for home use. This is Lemmy. How may I help you? Voice of a youngster on the other end sounds as enthusiastic as that of a man walking towards the gallows. Oh. Oh, what is this place? Video Revachol is a 24-hour video rental. We rent 8 and 10mm film for home use. This is Lemmy. No, I meant, what is this place to me? Sir, I don't know. It's a video rental. Maybe I rent videos here. Do you know me? No. Why did I call you? Maybe you called to extend your rental period. You need to extend your rental period. My name is Raphael Ambrosius Cousteau. Do you have anything on my name? Raphael, what? Listen, I can't help you over the phone. He sounds annoyed now. If you need further assistance, you can visit us on the corner of Voyager and Main. Are we done? He thinks you're pulling a prank on him. What? On the corner of Voyager and Main, a large neon sign hangs on the side of a building. Video Revachol 24-hour. It's raining and there is almost no traffic on the street. A woman's footprints in the mud lead away from the front door. Tiny heels tiptoeing down the road, beautiful steps, light-footed with a lifetime ahead of them. You look up and the air seems to grow darker. Suddenly you feel like you don't want to hear about video rentals anymore. You don't want to hear about any of it. It was all shit. It's over. What was all shit? It. Kim, I feel sad about Video Reversal 24H. That's enough for you today, Lieutenant says quietly. Let's conclude this call. We are done.
Your race descent has only worsened since I last saw you. You have really let yourself go.
Era told you to help us get the body down from the tree. So it was. You surmounted the arbor wall in a display of athletic prowess to reach my superior, then had him give me an order. I salute your cunning, and I will remove the body from the tree with my bare hands. You're so noble, Measurehead. But while I am gone, someone must stand guard on the bridge. That someone needs to be you. Turns to Kim. Both of you. That would mean you're openly showing the people that you're taking the Union side. Well, that means showing everyone that we're taking orders from the Union. Yes, that is precisely what it means, homunculus. This is not going to happen any other way. Lieutenant, what if we don't want to do that? This is the uncomfortable result of not taking it down ourselves. I can live with the compromise. Listen to your little friend. He is wise in his childlike way. His mysterious race may yet prove fierce competition to my heroic haplogroup. Okay then. Babe, see that they stand here the whole time. Woman's gaze follows Measurehead as he leaves. Turns to you. So, you guys are like cops or something? Why are you with Measurehead? Look at him, he's craniometric perfection. Are you cops or what? We're just trying to keep things from going to shit. Have you ever thought that maybe things should go to shit? Woman twirls her hair. I'm Katya, by the way. You hear that? Lieutenant looks toward the yard. That sound. He's breaking something. Yeah, Jean-Luc must be really tearing it up there. I wish I could see it. I also wish I could see it. Look at you, RCM, rented cops. A loud voice booms in from below. Guarding that bridge like Arrad's lapdogs. Is this where it's at now? The RCM is for sale. Spoken by a mercenary, pretending to be a worker. I'll work with whoever I want. Shrill laughter interrupts you, echoing across Martinez. It's Kuno! What? Then. The man turns to look behind him at the behemoth appearing around the corner, approaching him, walking past him. The corpse has been removed from the tree. He brushes wooden flakes off his hands. Stand down and congratulate yourself. You have sided with race victory today. Thank you for your cooperation, Measurehead. Farewell, ham sandwich. You are a union man from now on. Masovian socioeconomics. 0.000% of communism has been built. Evil child-murdering billionaires still rule the world with a shit-eating grin. All he has managed to do is make himself sad. He's starting to suspect Krasmazov fucked him over, personally, with his socio-economic theory. It has, however, made him into a very, very smart boy with something like a university degree in truth. Instead of building communism, he now builds a precise model of this grotesque, duplicious world. Left-wing dialogue options give +4 XP. Nice. -1 visual calculus. Reaction everywhere. -1 authority. Downtrodden Invar communist. Yeah. Check einlösen.
Is this about the questions again? Because I don't really know anything.
I need to exchange this novelty check for cash. Wow, I didn't know you worked for a union, sir. She rolls up the giant novelty check. Looks like she's seen it before and slips it under the counter. Anything else I can do for you? That was easy. Worryingly so. Blow the whole thing on speed and gin right now. Speed and gin. Great combo. Ask some local dealers maybe. Hey. Wie? Ich will auch da hoch. Gross little shit show.
You missed it at show before. A gift came by, completely fucked a tree to pieces.
He fucked the tree up. Fucked it good. It was porno.
Wish I could have been here to see it. Now I have some questions. Shoot that shit at Kuno pig or not? Fallen pins. Severe fair physical instrument. Eh, 15. Corpse lies on the ground among the remains of an absolutely demolished pinewood branch. It's gently laid on one side. Beautiful. +70. Mr. Measurehead has done a good job. The lieutenant nods approvingly. Nothing is too broken or compromised. The victim is ready for a field autopsy. A field autopsy? Yes. He covers his nose and lists 1. Investigation of the scene. 2. Initial examination of the victim. 3. Field autopsy. 4. Transportation of the body to the morgue. We are number 3.
The
the fuck are they on about? Cops gonna cut this shit up. Don't we have someone else for this? A doctor? No. You and I are detectives. The honorary rank of detective signifies our ability to handle the entire incident chain, from autopsy to cleanup to social work. Everything. Wait, our honorary rank of detective? An honor and a burden attached to your rank once you've proven yourself able, usually after 5 to 8 years of fieldwork. Mine is Lieutenant Detective. Yes, I feel like a detective. You are. Your station would not have assigned you on this case if you weren't. Now. Lieutenant adjusts his glass and takes a deep breath. First, what exactly is a field autopsy? Come on, officer. He pulls on a pair of latex gloves. You know what a field autopsy is? You've done 100 of them. Do we have another pair of gloves? Unfortunately, no. I have gardening gloves. Maybe they are enough? They're better than nothing. The lieutenant looks at the gloves. Tell you what, I perform the anatomical side of things, while you will take notes. Will you just fill this in, right? Show him the red field autopsy form in your ledger. That's right. He nods. You knew it because you inspected your ledger. The lieutenant is relieved you know the protocol. Open your ledger, the field autopsy form. The dead man stares in silence as you crack open the ledger. The bright red paper is covered in boxes and lists, describing the condition of his skin and organs in 3 parts. Above those, an 11 field info form needs filling out. Filling out first. It begins with first assistant. That's you. Right. Raphael Ambrosius Cousteau. The corpse is indifferent to your scribblings. It just lies there. Next box says Coroner's case number. Okay. Next. Name. Wie further nom de guerre Lely. It's better than nothing. Write it down. What's next? Date of birth? Yep. NA. Age. The man corrects his glasses. Roughly 30. Corpse looks ageless, like meat on a hook. Race. Mondial. The pudgy mess of curdled meat looks neither mondial nor anything other. Sex. Fucky, fucky! Little monster exclaims energetically. Male. Pig's gonna have sex? Nor does he look male, with his pregnant belly and indistinguishable face. Date of death. We're still going with March 4th, 51. What else? He looks over your shoulder. Body identified by is non-applicable. Case number is the same as the coroner's case. KK 570503080815. What? Listens, motionless. With the cargo belt still around his neck, only one box remains. Evidence of treatment. None, at least not after the initial examination. Strange word. Treatment. What exactly is treatment anyway? Interfering with the body's position or wounds post-mortem. Naja, ich meine, Kuno hat den die ganze Zeit mit Stein beworfen. Ist das nicht? I'm not so sure. Didn't the footprints look like he was carried over? They'd have to have incapacitated and carried him over. This man was more than a match for untrained dog workers. He places his hand on the dead man's chest as if in preparation. His central nervous system recognizes this gesture. It's the stations of the breath. Ecclesiastic religious nature. A holdout from pre-Dolorian burial rites. It takes him 2 seconds to perform, then... Somewhere in Jamrock North, a small wood shed behind Rosenkranz Row, Lieutenant Nick Feuerbach puts his hand to the chest of a small corpse. No larger than a monkey. It's raining outside, light drizzle. There's darkness in the shed. Elsewhere yet, an obese female sits in a wicker chair, her silhouette ball-like against the window. Outside Grand Courant. The day is turning dim for Sergeant McTorson. Hand extended, he approaches, to make sure she is dead, more than anything else. The building is tall, 7 stories, wind-wrapped in solitude. Most of the apartments are unoccupied. This was a suicide, the other an accident, small one. And so all across Jamrock Coal City agree 42 deceased persons found today, 42 stations of breath. We should start the post-mortem. The corpse cannot feel Kim's hand on his chest. It no longer meaningfully interacts with its surroundings. A thicket of boxes and lists on red copy paper tries to answer why. First, external examination. Summary. Clothes, he begins. The deceased wears armored boots and white briefs. The make of the briefs is Barboudin, I think. Let's see. He turns the body onto its side to check the underwear label. See! It's happening! Barboudin, yes. Inexpensive. Size M. Color white. The disappointment is palpable. The red-haired thing was expecting something more lurid. The boots are ceramic, vitreous enamel. They are fused to his skin from blood flowing downward post-mortem. Removal of the boots is left for processing. When am I gonna get them? Patience. After the autopsy, before the body is taken away, there will be a window of opportunity after the lieutenant has gone to sleep. I hope this has helped you, my liege. Write it down. Tattoos. He stands up, feet planted on either side of the body. The upper torso is covered in a single continuous tattoo resembling a map of the night sky. It reaches from the right shoulder to the heart. The ink is blue and white. The assistant has a color photograph of the markings to be added to the case files as document A1. The photo is taken on the scene using Trigard Mini. The deceased has a cargo lashing belt around his neck, tied with a hangman's knot. Color yellow. Length 3 meters. There's a buckle on the other end. He produces a measuring tape. Well-nourished, athletically built, measuring 1.80 meters. Generally consistent with age, about 50. Preservation is good, ambient temperature below freezing. Body hair is light brown. Distribution is consistent with age. He kneels in to get a better look. The deceased had male pattern baldness. Hair is combed back short. Touch the corpse's hair before moving on. What? His hair feels wet, soaked with rain, cold to touch. Not that different from a living person after a swim. Stroke his hair, gently. The stench is suffocating. Strands of dark brown hair start sticking to your hand, like thread of a rag doll's head. There's brilliantine in there. He's combed his hair back with oil. Keep petting him. More hair sticks to your hand. Hair of the rain-soaked head to of a dead man. There are bumps and dips on the skull. An alien landscape. There, dead man. You were someone's child. It's all over now. There, baby. Lieutenant watches you in silence. Write it down, adding the brilliantine. There was some sick shit, sickoba! Lividity is consistent with hanging. The head is congested. Contusions are present on the head, chest and thighs. Consistent with stones thrown. Low velocity. Fucking low velocity, chink chonk! Kid explodes. You think Kuno doesn't know what you're talking about? Velocity was fucking max. Talking shit about Kuno's velocity. Lieutenant pays no heed. In addition, there are bite marks on the face, scalp and chest, consistent with predation. Right down. Ligature mark. Lieutenant produces a small folding knife. With the other hand pulling on the belt, he starts cutting into the polyester. The stench is horrid. After a while, it's obvious the material cannot be cut. The steel wiring concedes, breathless. There's too much of it. We need to remove the belt so we can get to the ligature mark. You got just the right tool for that, the chain cutters. Oh yeah, I'm prepared. The hanged man lets out a joyous little bubble of rot from his nose. Good thing we got these chain cutters. Always good to think ahead. Now, points to the rope squeezing the dead man's neck. We need to cut the belt to see the ligature mark below, carefully with as much precision as you can. See, my pig is gonna fuck his head off. No, he ain't. She looks blasé. Your pig's a boring fuck. Look for a good spot to cut. The belt is equally tied around the whole circumference of his neck, swelling over the edges like white bread rising from the yeast. The knot is the weak spot. The chain cutters fit in there. Steady now, like a flower arranger, 2 cuts and it should come loose. I'm not your pig, Kuno. Yeah, he says with a calm certainty. You're Kuno's pig. Ah, fuck. Yes. After some deliberation, you sink the cutters into the knot, tying the belt together. You squeeze the rubber handles together, sweat forming on your brow. Press down. Snap. The knot is slashed. Another cut and the belt falls apart like a flower bouquet, revealing the dead man's neck and the dark red ligature mark around it. The lieutenant kneels closer, running his finger across the dark red groove until there's a gap. The rope rises to a point, leaving a gap in the ligature mark. The suspension point is in the back of the neck. Hemorrhaging is observed on the skin above and below the ligature mark. The mark is well pronounced, consistent with a drop from 1 to 1.5 meters. Chest is intact. He presses down on it, normal contour. Abdomen is protuberant, pelvis intact. Genitalia, he pulls down the man's underpants. Now it's gonna happen! See? I fucking knew it! This is clearly what they've been waiting for. Ever since the autopsy began, Lieutenant is trying to make it as boring as possible. Genitalia is male and unremarkable. No evidence of injury. Does it look like he was enjoying his moment of death? Ah yes, your hunch before. We have a semen analysis requested from processing, if that's what you meant. No, I was trying to get a psychic read. No, you weren't, officer. That would be preposterous. He shakes his head. Just write down that we request a semen, vaginal and anal fluids analysis. The corpse with his pants down does not have an opinion on the subject. All he has is genitals and a deathly odor. Inspect the genitals. The dead man's penis is average-sized, contrasted from the downward collection of blood. The testicles are uneven in length, hanging underneath. The genitalia is greenish. Marbling is present around the crotch. Write it down. Back is symmetrical and intact. He struggles to turn the corpse on his side. Upper and lower extremities are intact, but asymmetrical. There are combat injuries on the right hand, thigh and hip. In addition, I see smaller residual scars, too numerous to count, covering about 30% of his skin. Last item, hands. He takes the man's right hand in his, inspects it, then moves on to the other hand. Let the lieutenant work alone. Hands are clean. He inspects the wrist. No sign of a recent struggle. Were we expecting any? I was. Maybe I'm just not seeing them. Honestly, the stench is making it hard for me to think at the moment. Working so close to the fumes coming from the corpse must be hard. You realize suddenly that the lieutenant has been barely keeping it together these past 2 items. Whew. He turns to the side to breathe. It's not enough. He buries his face. It's not enough. He buries his face in the sleeve of his jacket. You hear a muffled voice. That's all for the external. Well done. What's next? What's next? Beim nächsten Mal. Tja, Kuno. Nix passiert. Hier. Ja, okay. Ja. Lief gut. Wir kommen weiter. Das ist wunderbar.